as opposed to for pimping now, because a lot of guys, you know, they see where the money is. The money is, you know, because, you know, they seeing these females in the strip clubs and all over, you know what I'm saying? I mean, shooting heroin and tooting heroin down. So a lot of these guys, you know, instead of just straight pimping on them, they're getting packages. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you see a lot of guys in the strip clubs, you know, who used to be so-called pimps, and they're selling heroin to these hoes, calling these bitches, and not trying to knock on no more, but they just trying to get these bitches come over there and give them a package and, like, you know, get them strung out on heroin. And so they don't have to be involved in the females no more. All they got to do is supply them with their heroin, and now, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, they feel like they pimping. You know, so you see some of these guys, you know, they don't have a pimp on their body, but you see them with 6 or 7 white girls, and each one of them, if you look at their arm, they got tracks on their arm. You know, you can see that they've been shooting dope. Yeah. You know, and so it's like almost like the 60s and the 70s reinvented, you know what I'm saying? Revisited, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of these guys, that's what they do. So a lot of these guys, you know, they basically, you know, this is how they pimping now. You know what I'm saying? And you know, a lot of the females, this is how they hoeing. It's a shame, you know, because the heroin epidemic really stemmed from ecstasy, you know what I mean? The Molly epidemic. Yeah. A lot of those drugs, the Mollies and the ecstasy, were heroin-based. Now, it's no wonder that you see a whole lot of young people dying. 64,000 people died last year from heroin epidemic. It wasn't the heroin that they were on. Initially, it was the pills that was based, that had heroin base, that caused them to become addicted and caused them to want to get a more extensive high. You know, my man always used to say, he said, man, you know what? I'm a very intense person. He said, that's why I don't do drugs, because if I do drugs, I'm going to be extreme with it. I do everything to the extreme. So, you know, a lot of these people not even knowing, having extreme behavior and extreme and highly addictive behavior, they trying these other pills, these Mollies and these whatever, you know, these ecstasy. And you know, where do you see girls use Molly and ecstasy more? You know, predominantly in the game. The prostitutes, they are the predominant consumers of that. You can go to any strip club, and what one of those strippers gonna say? I'm rolling. Rolling means that I'm high on Molly's, or I'm high on ecstasy. So because they rolled so much, they eventually rolled over to heroin, you know, and then a lot of pimps rolled over from being pimps. And these guys, when they were pimps in the first place, may I say it, a lot of them rolled over from being pimps to heroin suppliers, dope dealers. And this is what you have. And that's why the emphasis is not on human trafficking anymore. They're not really tripping on human trafficking. It's still pockets dudes that get caught for human trafficking. But the main emphasis is indicting these guys for heroin. And the government has allowed more heroin to come into our society. Even though they're losing 65,000 to 80,000, you know, heroin junkies a year, the profit is so great that everybody is winning. You know, when you see the economy doing well, when they say the economy is doing well and unemployment is up and all this and that and other, yada, yada, yada. Yeah. What that means is that there's a whole lot of drugs in our community. Whenever you look back at any time when the society came out of a bubble or the society came from a deficit, it was always because of drugs. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So a lot of drugs are in our community. There's a lot of heroin in our community. A lot of those women on back pages are heroin addicts. A lot of those guys that used to be pimps are now heroin dealers. So you still have the gang, but the gang has just been invaded by a controlled substance called heroin.
But now tell me this, because see, you done weathered a few decades, and you done seen how the decades changed, like how you expelling on right now. So from like in the 70s, like you said, it done made a comeback. So where it is now.
The first time, yeah, when I was about 14 or 15 years old, you know, I was knee deep in the game. You know what I mean? You know, I was born in this shit. My daddy's uncles, all that was players. So when I was about 14 and 15 and 16 years old, it used to be a club called Jim Dandy's on 3rd and Center in Milwaukee. And that's where all the pimps and hoes used to hang out at. And there was another restaurant across the street that was 24 hours called Ham and Egg, or George Webb, y'all may call him. So George Webb is like a Waffle House. See what I'm saying? So these clubs and these restaurants used to be open. And in the bathroom, I used to see kids my age, 15 and 16, shooting heroin. But these same girls that would be shooting heroin, which were very pretty young ladies, man, you know, it was disgusting. You know, you see pretty women with tracks all up and down their arms and, you know, strung out on heroin, but they would go out there and they would sell their body because the track was also on 3rd and Center. And when they sell their body, what they would do is they would go and they would give the money to the pimps, and the pimps would go and get them and the girls heroin. You know, they would give both of themselves heroin, and they would shoot the heroin, and you'd see needles all in the bathroom, and so on and so forth. This ain't nothing but those days coming back on steroids, because it's different now. You see what I'm saying?
So when you saying that, was that probably like say the Nixon era you're talking about?
That was back in the 70s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Back in the 70s. You know, heroin died out in the 80s because crack came on scene.
Yeah, Ronald Reagan.
Once crack came on the scene, then we started seeing, you know, more people act like what we call them crackheads, zombies. You know what I'm saying? They was fiends. So, you know, the fiends, but, you know, the first fiends were called dope fiends. Those were the heroin junkies. You know, like, if you was on heroin, people call you a dope fiend. Then if you was a crackhead, they call you a fiend, you know, which was the same thing, but the crack and the heroin one was a upper, the other one was a downer. So now you move up into, nowadays, people are called, they don't even call them fiends no more, they call them heroin junkies. You know, so a lot of people are using heroin, and it's less obvious than it was back then. People, you know, get more money than they were getting back then. But the heroin is fueling the economy. And the Mexicans, you know what I'm saying, the Italians, the Dutch, the Jews, everybody, the black folks, everybody is complicit. You know, the Arabs, all of them are participating in this heroin epidemic. And it's fueling the economy. It's bringing a lot of money to the economy. That's why the economy is doing so well. You see, the economy did well when it was heroin before, because a junkie is different than a crackhead. A junkie gonna get him some money. He got to get some money. He got to get high. You know, if he don't get high, he gets sick and he can die. You know, whereas a crackhead, you know, if he don't get no crack, he gonna run around act crazy and make all kind of crazy propositions. But, you know, I mean, a junkie was steal from their mother. They would, you know, and they sophisticated because they have to be sophisticated. There's a sophisticated man high. You see what I'm saying? And the people that understand the high, you know, like I said, some of the former pimps who are now present-day drug dealers, heroin dealers, you know, they understand the intensity because some of their homes ended up strung out. So they said, why should I just, you know, pimp when I can just get me some heroin and I can have 6 or 7 bitches? And, you know, so this is what's going on, man. So, you know, the police ain't incarcerating these guys for pimping no more. They're locking them up for being drug dealers.
Too cool to count 24/7.